Why this story matters. Positive change rarely happens overnight, but stories like this show it is happening nonetheless. Quick summary: this story highlights recent developments related to children, showing how constructive action can lead to meaningful results. Saja Khuder was set to return to her job with a pharmaceutical firm after maternity leave. At the last minute, her childcare plans fell through. Chase Machiziak, a bioinformatician, was using a daycare that was fine, but expensive, and which left his 18-month-old son exhausted and unhappy after a 10-hour day. And for PhD student Kelsey Launier's paying for daycare wasn't an option. She tried to work around her daughter's nap time, but found it almost impossible. Would you like to read more good news about children, work economy, women, work-life balance, and childcare? All three parents found the answer in Little Break, a co-working space with adjacent childcare facilities in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Users say its prices are a fraction of what other daycare centers charge. In the US, families spend between 9% and 16% of their median income on 4-day care for just one child. Photo courtesy of Little Break for Lonius, who had been reluctant to leave her then 9-month-old with strangers. Little Break was a perfect solution, allowing her to focus while knowing her daughter was close by. It immediately felt like a supportive community for working parents rather than just a place to sit and work, she says. While some countries prioritize childcare, the US, aside from some states, like New Mexico, is not one of them. Families spend between 9% and 16% of their median income on full-day care for just one child, and prices have risen much faster than inflation. And cost is not the only factor. Just over half of America's children live in childcare deserts, areas where demand exceeds availability. There are waitlists everywhere, says Khuder. Wan's own children had attended full-time daycare while she and her husband worked demanding jobs, a stressful, tiring routine. She began looking for dedicated support for parents, but found very little. It's a tale as old as time. When a mother is born, they are like, "Where is my village?" Says one who, like many women, moved away from family for her career and also struggled with postpartum depression. There's no one around. She made it her mission to change this, quitting her corporate job in 2024 and setting up the Mamas Network, a non-profit support community. As part of this, Little Break opened in April 2025, initially charging $200 per month, then rising to $500 for full membership use of the space 5 days a week. In December, it moved into a larger space with full-time membership price at $700 per month. In comparison, Machiziak's family previously paid around $1,450 for 3 days a week. Non-members can also use the space on a drop-in basis, $65 per day. Little Break is a non-profit rather than a commercial business, and one is not yet taking a salary herself. The big difference, however, is that it is not a licensed childcare facility, making it much less costly to run. Parents must remain on site and take care of feeding and diaper changes, otherwise they get on with work in an adjoining room, while paid staff, other parents, some of them former nannies or daycare workers, watch the children. The setup wouldn't suit everyone, but users point out the upsides. You can't leave your child there and go somewhere else, but the benefit of that is you have nothing else to do but to focus on your work, says Khuder. There are interruptions, but that also means you're available when issues arise, says Machiziak, who mentions a recent biting incident involving his son, Wolf. More importantly, it's allowed much more father-son time than he would otherwise enjoy. I got to see Wolf's first steps, he says. Little Break aims to provide just that, a little respite whenever needed. While some use the space regularly, others drop in at short notice. One parent needed backup when their usual daycare closed for Halloween, another turned up when a heating malfunction meant the preschool had to shut, says one. The relief on their faces was visible. It's easy to think other parents are all coping, she says. Then you realize, no, we're all drowning. Little Break provides flotation devices at no extra cost. Wan adds in the form of spare diapers, coffee, even space for a nap. We'll pull you out of the water, get you dry, get you cozy. That focus on adults' well-being is intentional. My joke is, I don't care about your kids. You care about your kids if you're taken care of. You are able to take care of your kids, says Wan. Little Break has no rules about drop-off times, for instance, the existence of which she says helps children and staff, but can cause extra stress for parents. It immediately felt like a supportive community for working parents rather than just a place to sit and work, said one Little Break member. Photo courtesy of Little Break, a co-working community can counter the isolation that some experience when working from home. Khuder, who works remotely, says co-working helped her transition from maternity leave to work. Mother and baby both benefited from the sociable surroundings. Khuder made some great connections with other professionals, while her baby developed more quickly than her older children did, thanks to much more interaction with other children. She now has an au pair at home, so is no longer a member of Little Break, but with 3 children under the age of 4 still uses the space when needed. Many large employers already provide on-site childcare. Family-friendly co-working is also catching on. Alongside Little Break, other providers include a Momentum in Pennsylvania, Baba Desk in Australia, and the Working Mums Club in the UK. Dr. Karen Romian,